We are back with the Screen Team. It's a faith-based show this evening on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. I want to thank our sponsors once again. Poplar, Bluff Drywall, 714-3127, 33 Productions. For more information on that internet marketing products, you can follow Dr. Ben Atkins on Facebook and Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Our final film is Fireproof. This movie came out back in 2008. It stars Kirk Cameron, back from, he was in Growing Pains, and, you know.
I'm trying to think what the name of the
Growing
show
Pains was the show.
Yeah.
This was an American Christian drama film released many years ago, and we're going to be talking about it right now. Brittany McKay, what are your thoughts about this movie?
Well, you know what? He walks in. I was trying to watch the very end of it this morning, because my phone wasn't working at home very good to watch it over the weekend on my phone. So he walks in and I'm like bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
He said, "What's wrong?" I said, movie.
So,
you know, it's one of those, and this is not something I'm unaccustomed to, because I used to own a Christian bookstore, and I so shared this with you this morning. I had a video rental section in my Christian bookstore, and the vast majority of Christian movies are done with very low budgets and, how can I say this delicately, somewhat less than stellar performances.
Yeah.
Is that a nice way to put it?
Yeah.
Sometimes the acting's not so hot. I don't want to say that about Kirk Cameron, because I think he did a good job, but some of the acting in this one,
a little
but
iffy.
The story is good.
The message is great.
The message is great. You know, and that's really what these kinds of movies are about. It's not necessarily about, you know, winning Academy Awards for the best actors.
Yeah.
It's about getting a message across, and I think this one does a really good job with that.
And the message is, we have Kirk Cameron. He's a husband. He's a firefighter, and he's having some issues with his wife. They're not getting along. They're struggling, and they're almost on the brink of divorce. Correct?
Yeah. And he's actually filing.
And he's caught up in pornography. Isn't that right?
Yes.
I thought,
yes.
because spin
Although they never say that, but they definitely imply it enough that you finally figure, that's what he's doing on that computer all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what to do with himself, and his dad kind of gives him some advice, and he gives him almost like a journal or a notebook of a rough time he had with his wife at the time. And what was it called? It was called like
the Love Dare.
Love Dare.
Love Dare.
Yeah.
Love Dare. So basically,
that was a cool name.
The Love Dare was to do something special for your wife for 40 days.
Yeah, each day something specific.
And Kirk Cameron, he does it, but he doesn't put his whole heart into it. Doesn't put his whole faith into it, and he's not getting the results he wants. He's tired of it. He's like, "I'm done, Dad. I'm not going to do this anymore." And then his dad has this big talk with him, which is like one of the turning points of the movie. You know, Kirk Cameron's like, "Listen, Dad, I'm doing this. She's not giving me the love that I want," and blah, 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 blah. Respect.
That was the thing he kept talking about, was she doesn't respect me.
And his dad kind of, I don't want to say throws it in his face, but he makes him realize that he is doing the same thing to God and to Jesus. That
is a good scene, isn't it?
It's probably a turning point of the movie. So from that point on, Kirk Cameron kind of changes his tune and tries to win back his wife and his family, and tries to get a greater relationship with God and with Jesus. So that's kind of the whole basis of the story. What are your guys' thoughts, Coach? When you first saw this, did you like it?
Oh yeah, I and I think, again, I was a little bit prepared that, the acting wouldn't be just like stellar, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
I've seen much worse.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see regular B movies that, you think, well, that's not very good acting, but, or
Steven Seagal movies.
I think what you were saying that was when he came to that realization, basically, that this isn't about me, that I've got to do this for her, and I can't worry about what I get back. That's that's one of the hardest Christian concepts that I mentioned a while ago in the other movie that Christ said you got to die to yourself. Well, that's a hard thing because we live in our own body all the time with our own thoughts, and we even a lot of times when we're doing good things. sometimes we still have ulterior motives of what we want back.
Right.
And I think maybe that's what you alluded to is Kirk Cameron, as he started, like, well, I'm going to be doing these things, and then she'll respect me and give it back to me, and that wasn't happening. And so then he started doing it for more pure motives, and trying to be obedient, I guess you could say, to Christ and to his faith in Christ. And so I really thought it was a really good movie. Had him being a firefighter and a lot of other things that were in the movie. I thought it was worth watching for sure.
Yeah. Brittany, did you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
Definitely so, especially if you're part of a couple where you might be feeling some of these similar feelings.
Yeah.
This couple, basically, they're a young married couple. They've been married for several years, and they've kind of neglected their relationship, because they both got caught up in self. Yeah. He's caught up in the fact that he doesn't feel respected. She's caught up in the fact that she doesn't feel romanced and cared about. It's just
she's going through things with her parents, and he's
exactly
not,
her mother's had a stroke, and
noticing
and she's
that
struggling.
I could definitely that was the word I'm looking for. I related to Kirk Cameron's character. I've been married for 6 years now. It'll be 6 years next weekend, and you get to a point where you're like, hey, I'm doing this, and this for you. How come I'm not getting the respect, that I think I deserve, and blah blah blah, and
the reward,
and when you're looking at Kirk Cameron and the way that he looks, when you're looking at him doing what he's doing, watching the movie, you're like, he's kind of ugly like that, and then you kind of
he's full of anger at the beginning,
and then you kind of realize, am I like that because I'm doing the same things? Am I? So I really believe this movie is a good teaching tool to not only get a good relationship with Jesus and with God, but with also your significant other or a friend or family member or whatever. So,
and do you think also? I think it shows that he was a firefighter, pretty macho job, and I think though, no matter what job we're in as a men, and I think women are getting into this too, that becomes our identity.
Oh yeah,
and get a lot of strokes. People respect firefighters and et cetera, and so I think we can all fall into that. Hey, I'm pretty special at work.
Well,
exactly.
I come home, I'm just me.
That's one of the things that Kirk Cameron's character even says in the movie. Look, I get respect everywhere I go, but I don't get it in my own home.
Yeah. And
he was caught up in the getting respect without thinking about how you actually earn respect.
Yeah. Great movie with a great message. It's called Fireproof, and you can find it on Netflix. It's streaming there, or you can find it at your local DVD store. Coach, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate
really appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for having me.
For those who are looking for maybe some more information on the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, where can they turn?
Yeah, they can go to fca.org, and actually this movie was advertised on that site, so you can go there, or you can go bray at fca.org and get a hold of me by email if you want to. But I would encourage people, if this comes out around Christmas, be a great movie for the family to watch, especially if you got kids involved in athletics. But there's something beyond athletics, and in and of itself, athletics doesn't develop character. It more or less reveals it. So hopefully we can use movies like this to say we got to get back to teaching our kids about life through athletics, not just about winning.
Right. Good message there. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you. A lot more religious movies and faith-based movies coming out this year. Left Behind with Nick Cage. We were supposed to review that movie, but didn't hit the Poplar Bluff theater, so we'll try to get that on DVD. And the story about Noah is coming out before Christmas with
the Exodus.
The Exodus, yeah.
Yes, the Exodus. Yeah,
with Christian
looking
Bale's
forward to
coming
seeing
out in
that.
early December as well. So still a lot of religious movies and faith-based movies coming out to a theater near you. Brittany, thanks for being on the show.
No problem.
Appreciate you. Coming up next week, we'll have Doug and Stacey Anderson on the Screen Team. So comes your way next Saturday at 6 p.m. For Coach Ray, for Brittany, and Chris. We are the Screen Team on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.